Hi everyone, and welcome to Megsmenopause IGTV for this week. This week I am going to talk about what HRT I take. Because I have loads of DMs and I have loads of questions from lots of ladies who ask me which HRT I take. And I take an HRT which is called Body Identicals. So I'll tell you the story of how I got onto this. So as many of you know, I am a recovering alcoholic, and I was at an AA meeting and I had months and months of absolutely feeling awful and really didn't know what was going on with me, and it was all quite scary, and I was on antidepressants, but I just did not feel human. I didn't feel like me. Anyway, I shared at this meeting everything that was going through: the foggy brain, the aching joints, the not sleeping, the anxiety, the fearful of life, the not wanting to go out, the not wanting to be sociable, it just was never ending. And as I left the meeting, a lovely lady tapped me on the shoulder and said, here, take my number. I think you're going through the menopause. And I was a bit like, really? That should be like my gran, not me. I mean, whatever. Anyway, I took her number to be polite, but really I was a bit like, oh yeah, really? And as I was in the Uber going home, ding, the penny dropped. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this lady a call. So I called her, and she said, okay, tell me how you're feeling. And she wasn't a doctor or anything. She was just another lady in AA, and she started to tell me and share me with her stories and things that she was taking. Anyway, she sent me a photo of this, she sent me a photo of this, and I was like, oh, really interesting. And then she started to explain that she'd went to her GP, and then her GP had referred her to a menopause clinic, an NHS menopause clinic, and I was like, oh, really? Okay. So I called my local GPs down the road, and there wasn't another appointment for 2.5 weeks away. So the next morning I took that appointment, and the next morning I woke up, I was like, oh God, I'm getting on this now. I can't do another day. So I went to my gynecologist, Sarah Matthews. She's at the Portland Hospital, Dr. Sarah Matthews, 2 T's, not 1 T like mine. Anyway, and I went to see her, and she was saying to me, oh yes, Meg, I've been sort of mentioning it about perimenopause and menopause because you have the merinocoiling, which gives you progesterone, so probably is keeping you maybe feeling a little bit all right, but and I was just a bit like, oh, I've never even heard her say those things, so I must have just been like blanking it out. Anyway, so I went to her, we did my bloods. As I left, she gave me this Œastrogel. This is Œastrogel. It's called a Body Identicals, and it's derived from the yam, okay? And it's made in a laboratory. Completely different to bioidenticals, everyone, but we'll get on to that. It's another story, another day. So she gave me this, and she said, just put 1 pump on. So I went home and I put 1 pump on, and I still had my merino coil, and she said we'll take that out next time, and then I was like, okay, fine, blah blah blah, and because it needed being replaced, okay. Anyway, she called me up the next day, 24 hours later. The bloods had come in, and she was like, your progesterone levels are really low, your estrogen levels are really low, and your testosterone levels are really low. So she said, I am going to post you out a prescription, and I would like you to go and pick up the Testogel, and which you will take, and the Œastrogel, 100 milligram, which also is derived from the yam. So what I would do, and then she said, I want you to up this to 2 pumps. So in the morning, I would put 2 pumps of the Œastrogel on my arm, 1 pump of the Testogel on my arm, and then before I went to bed, I would take the estrogen tablet. And the way that we look at it is you take the estrogen, and the estrogen is like the grass. This is what Dr. Louise Newson explained it to me. And then in the evening, you take the Œastrogel tablet, the progesterone tablet, and that is like the lawnmower, and it shaves away the excess estrogen that the body doesn't need. Also, this then stops you getting the lining of the uterus and also endometriosis and things like that. So what this does is this Œastrogel it is going into the blood system. It's not like synthetic HRT that goes through the liver and can cause clotting. It is very safe. Also, we do know now that with these, you can start taking these even when you've got your periods, when you're perimenopausal, because as we know now, it's all about prevention, okay? If I would have known, I would have started taking this when I was 45 or 46, not waited till I was 50. And I always thought that I had to hold it out because I only knew old information that was synthetic HRT, that you're only allowed to take it for 5 years, and that's the sort that my mum would have taken. And so I thought I was holding out to the bitter end. I didn't know this would keep me, protect my heart. The estrogen protects the heart. 2 out of 3 women will suffer a stroke or a heart attack in the menopause. I didn't know. Then also we know that basically the estrogen is great for osteoporosis. Another thing that I ended up having, I do not have it now, but I will do another IGTV on that. That is because I upped my estrogen levels in 1 year and did lots of weight gaining exercises and came out of it in 1 year. We then also know that it helps with diabetes, it helps with dementia. This is the mother of all hormones, and do not be afraid of it. This Body Identicals only costs the NHS £4. Right, I've actually jumped a little bit there, but I will go back. So when my NHS appointment came up in 2.5 weeks, I went to my NHS doctor, my GP, and I said to her, and I put these out on the table, and I said, are these available on the NHS? And she said, yes. These, she didn't know, by the way, oh yeah, that's it, she didn't know. She had to get her book out and look through it. And she said, oh yes, this is available, and this is available. And I said, but is this available? And she said, no, you have to be referred to a menopause clinic, which I think we've got 16 or 17 in the UK. There's one at the Chelsea and Westminster. There is also one at the Royal Free. They're both really beautiful and really good. So she can give me this, but she can't write a prescription for this, for Testogel. This is a man's one, and you just put 1 pump on. But a normal GP cannot give you a prescription for this. You have to get it from, referred to an NHS clinic, which I did do. And then I managed to do this. The reason I did this journey was because I wanted to make it known and available to every woman in the UK. There's 13 million women in the UK, and I'm sure a lot of women cannot afford to go privately. You know, sometimes they can cost, £220 or even up to £280. Then you've got all your blood tests on, but they are great. And if you need a private one, you have Louise Newson in Stratford-upon-Avon, the amazing Dr. Harper that we work together. She's our Megsmenopause doctor. She's in Harley Street. Dr. Harper, look her up. Then you've got my Dr. Sarah Matthews and Dr. Nick Penney. There are another few that are in London. I work most closely with Dr. Harper. And anyway, then what happened was I went and I did go to the menopause clinic, and I got all this from them. And basically I now then just go once a year and get a checkup where they just look at the bloods to see that everything's okay, and you look at your thyroid and they just see that everything is going well. Now, the other one you can get is this one, which Louise Newson does, I do know, and also Dr. Harper. This is AndroFeme. It's a testosterone. It's made for ladies. It's only available privately. You can't get this one on the NHS yet. And then also I use these, and this is Vagifem 10 milligrams. So once I had my coil taken out, just to actually see whether my periods, because then I wanted to know about my periods, because I needed to know where I was I peri, was I menopause, but of course, all my levels said that I was menopause, but I would only be post-menopause if I had not had a period for 12 months. With the Mirena coil, I didn't really have periods. I had no spottings. I was just one of those people, so I could not tell. So we took my Mirena coil out, and at that time, I thought that I'd had thrush. Everything was a little bit itchy down there, and I was putting Canesten cream on. This is all, normal lady stuff. And as they took my coil out, they said, we can see that you might have slightly vaginal atrophy. So I was like, oh my God, what's this, another thing? So they gave me a localized Vagifem, which is a tiny little applicator. You pop up, everything falls down, and it's a little white tablet, you see? And then that just pops into your vagina, and it keeps it very localized, and it just helps with the estrogen in the vagina, keep it lubricant, keep it supple and stuff. And once I started doing that, I did get told to put a bit of cortisol cream on, and I did that, but I wasn't really wanting to put that on for very long. But it did go. It's just because, like anything with the lack of estrogen, your skin, the lips of the vulva are very, very plump, and then the older you get, the less estrogen, or should I hate that word, the more that the estrogen leaves your body, the thinner your lips get, your vulva get. So, it's just another one of those things, ladies. So, that is my story. So I basically suggested that if you are a bit scared of HRT, just think of this as body identicals. So if you imagine all the women with HRT, with osteoporosis, all the women like that, like me, that broke my wrist when I was 48, and all the hip replacements and all these things that we women go for because we don't have prevention. So I'm all about trying to get the word out, prevention for women, younger women from now, 45 years old. That is what we want to do. We want to talk about prevention for strokes, for heart attacks, for osteoporosis. That is what I'm trying to get across. With the Testogel and the testosterone, do not be afraid of it. This can give you your libido back. This gives you that oomph. It helps you get back in the gym. That awful tired feeling when you're just feeling really exhausted and can't bother to go to the gym and can't bother to do anything and just want to lie on the sofa. This can give it to you back. Testosterone, okay? You're going to be plucking hairs here anyway, plucking here, plucking here, plucking here, plucking here. That is just going to happen. It's an age thing. Just this, remember to rub it here. Do not rub it anywhere else because the hair will grow in those areas. We don't be wanting that. Anyway, ladies, so this is my little package of what I take. So, estradiol, body identicals. In the morning, I take 5 pumps. Then 1 pump of estrogel, or if I have this, when I haven't run out, I have a little thing of this. It comes with a little syringe and you can measure it, but now I know how much to take. I rub that on there in the morning. I then use this 2 to 3 times a week. And then at night before I go to bed, I take 1 estrogen, also body identicals derived from the yam, all very safe. So I hope that covers everything what I do in my menopause routine, shall we say. And I hope that you enjoyed this. The angles are rubbish because it's me doing this and I'm on my own at home. And so if the shots aren't that good, are they? I'm a bit like, But anyway, you know what? We've all got to do this in lockdown and got to keep them coming to you because I love you ladies out there. Please stay safe, stay alert, and I'll see you next week. Bye.